Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about basic calendar expressions. Okay, so it's a very easy video. You probably already know a lot of these expressions. Of course, this is a calendar, okay, and we need to know the expressions about the calendar. So on the board I have the main ones here. So the first one, of course, is one day, and we, instead of one day, we could just say a day. So on your calendar, that is just one day, a day. Next, we have 7 days makes a week. Okay, so 1 week, and of course, a month. Okay, so a month, a little bit difficult to pronounce. A month, a month. Your tongue has to come out a little bit. A month, a month. So a day, a week, a month, and of course the full calendar, 12 months, that is a year. Okay, so a day, a week, a month, and a year. Those are the easy ones. Let's get on to bigger time. The next one here is a decade. Okay, what is a decade? Well, a decade is 10 years. Okay, 10 years is a decade. So you might buy a car every decade. Okay, every 10 years. After a decade, we have a century. A century is 100 years. Okay, and of course, we live in the 21st century. After the century, we have a millennium. Very difficult to spell. A millennium. A millennium is 1,000 years. Okay, very long time. 1,000 years we would call a millennium. Okay, after a millennium, we have something called an eon. Okay, so notice we're starting with E, so we have to use an eon. How long is an eon? Well, there is no exact time of an eon. An eon just means a very, very long time. Okay, so example, the dinosaurs, they lived on the planet eons ago. Okay, so it just means a very, very long time. So this is not exact. Okay, so probably, of course, the first four are the easiest, and they're the most important. The decade, century, millennium, and eon. Okay, you're not going to hear those too much. Okay, just I'm teaching them so you know. But you should know the first four. Okay, so let's take a look at a few examples. Okay, here are a few examples. The first one, there are 24 hours in a day. There are 24 hours in a day. Next example, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. The next example, there are about 4 weeks in a month. There are about 4 weeks in a month. Okay, the next one, there are 365 days in a year. There are 365 days in a year. All right, next one. There are 10 years in a decade. There are 10 years in a decade. And the next one. There are 100 years in a century. There are 100 years in a century. And the last one. There are 1,000 years in a millennium. There are 1,000 years in a millennium. Okay, so I hope you have a better understanding from the examples. So a day, a week, a month, a year. Those four are the most important for the calendar. And then the last group here, not so common, a decade, a century. You should know millennium, and of course an eon. An eon, very long time. It could be millions of years. All right, so I hope you understand. That's it for this video.